I like the way that historian Mitchell Ketchum frames this holiday. He says it's a time to celebrate, to educate, and to agitate. So, the celebration, you will all have opportunities, if you haven't already, over the next couple of days to attend festivals, parades, lots of food, lots of fun. And those are intended for all people across all communities to come together, to collaborate, to unite around the notion that all Americans are entitled to enjoy life, liberty, and all the freedoms guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. Education. It commemorates specifically the date, June 19th, 1865, when General Gordon Granger marched with federal troops into Galveston, Texas, and delivered the news to all those blacks still working for free on plantations as slaves that they were in fact free and entitled to compensation. Now, that date has to be put in the context of it follows almost 3 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, declaring that all blacks enslaved in Confederate states were in fact free. And that Emancipation Proclamation actually follows the July 4th, 1776 Declaration of Independence that all men were created equal. I think this, and here's the agitation. Freedom is not self-executing. It is going to require each of you, as it has required many in my generation and generations past, to actually enforce and execute on the idea of freedom for all people. And I give you the example of General Granger coming nearly 3 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. I also point out that it wasn't until December 1865, with the ratification of the 13th Amendment, that freedom was extended to all people, all blacks, all over the United States, because the Emancipation Proclamation and General Granger's order only covered Confederate states. I give you two other examples just to make my point. We all celebrate the Brown v. Board decision of 1954, declaring school desegregation in the United States. But it was not until President Dwight D. Eisenhower federalized the National Guard in Arkansas over the objection of Governor Orville Faubus, who wanted to maintain the status quo, that Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas could be desegregated by the Little Rock Nine. One other example is it wasn't until 1960 that Ruby Bridges and the New Orleans Six were escorted by federal marshals and an order from Judge Skelly Wright, to desegregate William Frantz Elementary School in New Orleans. So we all have an obligation to execute and enforce the idea of freedom that was first declared in the Declaration of Independence and then followed with the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment. So I invite all of you, mis sobrinos, to participate in this process of bringing freedom to all people who live in the United States and to all people around the world.